At the beginning of every season, the ARCA series commences along the high banks of Daytona, where some find finishing every lap a burden.
Problems right in front of them.
And others find success.
Michael and Nessel win at Daytona.
Lap by lap, the season progresses, and through it all, a few contenders emerge. Those who avoid trouble.
Scott Speed, who had a window net go down, he goes back onto the racetrack. He gets the lucky dog. He's back on the lead lap.
And those who beat the rest.
All he has to do is keep in front. Win number 2 for Stenhouse.
Finally, the series returns to the Superspeedway of Talladega. With only 2 races remaining, the beginning of another race begins. The race for the 2008 ARCA Championship.
Talladega Superspeedway, only 2 races remain, and we kick it off with the ARCA RE/MAX 250 from Talladega, Alabama, round 20 of the 2008 season. Hello, everyone. Ken Schrader, Phil Parsons. I'm Rick Allen with you for this one, the big one, Talladega Superspeedway. Now, we have 2 competitors that are really fighting it out here in the points championship with Scott Speed and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Yeah, and this is the race that they circled at the beginning of the year. They know they have to get through this race. As a matter of fact, Eddie Sharp, who is a team owner for Scott Speed, says, I can't wait till next year when this race actually moves to the spring in April, because he doesn't want this race this close to the end when the championship is at stake.
Yeah, and there's so many people that are on different agendas than our 2 points contenders.
Oh, most definitely. We got guys working to get that good point finish. We got guys worrying just about nothing but winning that race today. You know, we got two wild card races, Daytona, the guys that made it through that. Now they got to worry about this one. But boy, a whole lot of agendas going on today.
Bunch of different agendas. So we've got an interesting race for you today, but let's look back 2 weeks as to what has taken place in the ARCA RE/MAX series 2 weeks ago. Salem Speedway. It was Frank Kimmel who was on his winning ways as he goes back-to-back. Happy birthday, Dad. Kimmel climbing out of that race car with that win. Another win for Frank Kimmel. 74 in his career. And then it was the rain-soaked New Jersey Motorsports Park, that road course that they went to, and Justin Allgaier ends up winning that one. It was rain-shortened, but Allgaier will take it just the same. Take a look at our point standings after 19 races. Scott Speed, Ricky Stenhouse, those 2 are battling it out, especially today on this track.
But what we really see interesting here was people noticing the ARCA series, Scott Speed moving up to Cup, and Justin Allgaier being signed as development driver for Penske.
Very impressive last race, obviously, for Justin Allgaier. Let's hear from our point leader. He's with Ray Dunlap.
Well, it's been an exciting year for Scott Speed, no doubt about that. 4 wins this year, Scott, but on a chase for a championship. 2 races to go, and one of those being Talladega. Your thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be survival at this point. I mean, if we can survive the next 2 races, then, you know, naturally we're going to finish around the top 10, and that's good enough for the championship. So I think the biggest thing we're trying to do is not do anything stupid and try to avoid getting in someone else's accident.
Okay, good luck to you today. It's 60 points separating he and Ricky Stenhouse, who's with Jim.
Ricky Carmichael in the number 33, driving for Kevin Harvick Incorporated. Yes, that's right. Ricky Carmichael, normally seen on 2 wheels, and when he is on 2, he is dominant. As a matter of fact, his nickname is GOAT, greatest of all time.
When your fellow competitors nickname you GOAT, that's pretty amazing.
His statistics are amazing. He has put together 150 AMA motocross wins, 5-time Supercross champ, 10-time AMA outdoor champ, and X Games gold medalist. And Wendy Venerini caught up with him before he climbed in the car.
In the ARCA field today, we have the nickname Sliced Bread, Mr. Showtime, and now add GOAT, the greatest of all time, Ricky Carmichael, the most successful motocross racer. And today you're going to test your talent with your first ARCA start right here at Talladega and your first run for Kevin Harvick. I know at the test session you said you were anxious and a little bit sick to learn about drafting. What have you learned, and are you still anxious?
Well, I'm definitely anxious. You know, we've done a little bit of drafting and testing, and I have a feeling it's not going to be the same as the drafting that we're going to do in the race. So we're here to learn and to gain respect and try to get things ready for next year. So I'm looking forward to it. Very thankful for Kevin Harvick Incorporated giving me this chance, and we're going to do the best we can do. And like I said, learn. That's the main objective.
All right, Ricky Carmichael, a great start for today's field, and it might be the objective to learn, but it's also the goal to get approved by NASCAR to race the 2009 Daytona race in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
So again, a great story with Ricky Carmichael stepping in. He's trying to get NASCAR to approve him so that he can run Daytona next year. And Ken, obviously you know a lot about this kid.
We've had the pleasure of working with him this year, and he's been phenomenal to work with. I mean, he's just got quite a feel for the car, and he's learning quick.
And so the cars are now rolling around the racetrack. All of the drivers obviously strapped in and ready to go. Will it be a young gun that wins today, or will it be the veterans? Speed coverage of the ARCA RE/MAX Series from Talladega is presented by RE/MAX, serving all your real estate needs above the crowd. Brought to you in part by ARCA Nation. Get in, get on, ARCARacing.com. And by the auto parts experts at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Working on pace laps for the 43-car field. A gorgeous afternoon in Talladega, Alabama. 80 degrees, a slight breeze. The sun beating down on this racetrack, and it's a very smooth racetrack, Phil.
Yeah, Kenny, you just got off this racetrack with your Sprint Cup car in practice. How was the racetrack?
The track's good. Now, we did only get about 5 laps of practice after they had a multi-car wreck down between 3 and 4 and put down a ton of oil dry. So I don't think that'll be a problem, but might be a little bit exciting for the first couple laps. I know I was looking for it when I went through there.
It usually is anyway.
Yeah, usually it's exciting anyway. Oil in the track doesn't seem to ever help.
Our RE/MAX starting grid is going to roll across the top of the screen. James Buescher gets the pole. Tom Hessert III will start on his outside, making up row number 1. I would guess that's the best seats in the house, at least to start this race.
It'd be a real good place if I was one to start this race. But that second row, I think we had Eddie Mercer, or Eddie Mercer's in the third row. He's third row in. Where is Eddie Mercer?
5th, yeah.
Yeah, he's starting 5th. And that car, you know, with a lot of cup connections, like a lot of the cars in this race today.
It'll be interesting to ride along with a few different cars today. One of those being Brian Silas. He'll start 35th on the field today.
Matt Carter is also going to have an onboard. He has a Stein Seed New South Lemonade Ford out of Larry Clement's stables. Matt's going to start in the 15th spot in that 46 car.
And 9-time ARCA champion Frank Kimmel will also carry a camera for us in his Ford. He will be starting in the 33rd spot, so we'll be able to see how the veteran does here at Talladega. Let's head back trackside to Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Rick. You know, when we start talking about drivers that might have a shot at winning today, you got to put Joey Logano on that list. Of course, he won in his first ever start at Rockingham. And he's one of 3 drivers today driving for Venturini Motorsports. And Bill and Kathy Venturini have been around this series for a long, long time. This team has 15 wins, but they have 3 opportunities of winning today because they also have Mark Davis in the number 8 car today, and Brian Scott will be driving for this team also. So those 3 drivers start in the middle of the pack, but I think they'll work together. And I think there's a good shot that you'll see win number 16 today for Venturini Motorsports. What do you think about that, Wendy?
Well, I think that would be good, but I want to talk about Justin Allgaier. He moved from 5th in the points up to 3rd with his win at New Jersey. Now, this kid has won at every type of racetrack. He's won at a short track, a dirt track, a road course. Now, he's been winless at a super speedway, though. When we were at Daytona earlier this season, he finished 2nd, so we know he's good at these super speedways. He just needs to wrap up a win. He's in a Dodge car, and he does have a Penske engine under that hood. Of course, Justin Allgaier would like to get a win before he heads over the NASCAR Nationwide Series for Penske Racing come next season. Now, of course, he's won at a speedway. We just need to get the super speedway category under his belt.
Justin Allgaier looking for maybe a drafting win now. And it would be a big win at that. He has had quite the season, as you mentioned earlier, Ken. He's been called up to the big leagues, I guess you would say. Yeah,
and a very, very deserving driver, too. He's done an excellent job. A family-owned operation. His mom and dad, Mike and Dorothy Allgaier, they've put a lot of work into that.
You know, you told me a long time ago that Justin Allgaier was one of the guys to watch, and I bet you that was 3 or 4 years ago. But when he maybe had just made a handful of ARCA starts.
Yeah, he's just done a real good job. I know what kind of equipment he's had. His equipment was pretty rough at the start because it was some of our old stuff. You know, we run it a long time, but his equipment's got better, and he'll go a long ways in this sport.